Hello, recently I sat for the broker's exam, and there was a little acrostic that I thought would be beneficial to my clients to know about. And that is simply the 6 things that, as a broker or a real estate agent, we need to guarantee to our client. Now, I hope that you will stay tuned to this YouTube video to listen to the last 2 items, because there's 2 items that actually continue after the deal is closed. So let's get right into these. Well, the acrostic is old car. And so what does old car stand for? Well, O stands for obedience. And, you know, it's pretty easy to understand. We're the professionals. We deal with real estate all the time. But it is, the bottom line is, you own the property, or we're representing the buyer. You're the one that's going to be making the payments on the price that you offer. And so it's very important for you to understand that the broker or the real estate agent really needs to, bottom line, obey your wishes. And very close to that, secondly, the L stands for loyalty. In most states, realtors or brokers can only represent one party in the deal. I mean, it's a term that we call dual agency. In other words, when I am doing a real estate deal, I can't represent both sides equally. And so I'm either representing the seller or I'm representing the buyer. And so I am to be loyal to that person, of course. So the D stands for disclosure. Disclosure of material defects. In most states, the agent is responsible for disclosing defects that might be present in the property, maybe within a mile of it. And so if there is some kind of hazardous waste that they know about, or something like that, it's my responsibility to disclose that to the buyer, you know, just to make sure they know what they're buying. Now we go on to CAR. The C stands for confidentiality. And what that simply means is we are to hold certain things confidential forever concerning the deal. You know, how does this come into play? Well, what if you and your seller knew that, hey, they would have taken $50,000 less for the property than the deal actually closed for, and after you close the deal, you go up to the buyer, you go, you know, you really could have bought that for $50,000 less. Well, of course, that would cause ill feelings. And so, needless to say, that's one of those things that you just keep confidential. It's something that never needs to be brought up, ever. The A of CAR stands for accounting. And needless to say, at least in the state of Georgia, the closing attorney does most of this, and of course we're happy about that. But sometimes there's some personal property, sometimes there's some additional items that need to be taken care of. And so it's just, you know, it's just good practice for the broker, or of course the agent, to make sure that that's all taken care of and all the accounting is taken care of. And then finally we come to the R. And R just stands for reasonable skill and knowledge. What does that mean? Well, we as realtors, at least in our state, have to take close to 40 hours of CE credit every 4 years. And what that simply means is we've got to stay on top of the new laws. We need to understand real estate law. We need to know the things that are coming. We cannot know everything. When I became a broker, or an associate broker at least, I learned that really, you know, we've got to watch out that we're not practicing law. Okay, but you have the right as a person to demand or at least expect some reasonable skill and care out of your real estate agent. So let's go over these real quickly. Obedience, loyalty, disclosure of material effects, confidentiality, accounting, and reasonable skill and care. What's the 2 that continue after the deal? Well, confidentiality, which I already said, continues to infinitum and of course accounting to make sure that all promises have been taken care of, at least to the extent of your ability. I'm Gerald Wessels. I help people buy, sell, invest in residential and commercial real estate, and I'd love to help you if you ever have a need in this area.